You demand nothing from me. I curse you with oblivion, human. Ooh. No, Safana, my love. Do not wait for the human, my Karen. She betrayed you and never loved you, not as I do. You love me? How is it that a beast loves me? You do not recognize me, my love? No, not in this form. We have lain together once before, you and I, my love, and I have sought you out ever since. You avoided capture by my hounds, but I caught your woman, and her wicked plans serve my needs far more than hers. Come to me, my Karen. Let us be together at long last. I will not! I would never take part in such foulness, creature. Safana was my beloved. Kered Larae, destroy this murderess and all of her vile pack. Very well, Karen. If I cannot have you, then no one shall. Dun dun dun. It's like a really violent soap opera. Well, let's see if we can keep him alive. Probably not, all things considered, but, you know, at least we can throw out some nasty magic and hope to screw people up a lot. Let's lower their saves, maybe? Imoen, what were you doing? I think she was doing the chain lightning, which should only hit our enemies. Kered, can... Do you have the same spell? No? Yes? No. We could try the death spell. Let's see if it works. I got some of them.
It is wise to It is done.
I thank you for your aid, Kered. It pains me that I was blind to Safana's true nature, and I apologize for endangering you with my ignorance. If you've nowhere to go, Karen, why don't you travel with me? I'm sure you have some valiant battle ahead of you. I am tempted, my lord, truly, but no. I think I shall drown my sorrow in wine and ladies for a time. I think Athkatla is near. They say it is quite beautiful. Or perhaps Zasipor. Wherever fate takes me, I suppose. Until we meet again, Kered.
Just name what you want.
Damn, man. You do a better job of picking out your women. Damn! Alright, well, let's, get some group healing here. There, now everyone's feeling better.
Of course.
Wait, I don't live here.
No, you don't, Yan. You do not live here. I don't know what made you think that you do live here, but you definitely do not. You strange little man. Alright. So much for the Great Northern Woods. Did not reveal what we were looking for. Well, actually, the North Forest didn't have anything. Small Teeth Pass, Forest of Tethir. It looks like we're not going to find this place without the Rin Lanthorn after all. And I suspect that Bodhi, back in Athkatla, has it. However, while we are all the way out here, wow, it would take 52 hours to travel to Trademeet? 56 hours to go there. It just looks like a plane. Why does it take so long to get to these places? 52, 52, 52. What about back to town? Apparently it would take only 32. A lot less time to actually get back there than to get to these other areas. Well, screw it. Kered wants to go to Trademeet, so the group is going to travel there. It'll take him probably 2 days and change. And of course...
You've been on this path previously.
Oh.
Are you sure you know where you left it? I have no desire to keep traveling about in circles.
Uh-oh.
Blast it, boy! I may be old, but my memory has not left me head just yet. And we would not even have to look for it. And Wolfgar knocked it out of me hand.
I did no such thing, dwarf.
But you did, me boy. Ye were not looking when you were flying about in the battle, and I were too distracted by the trolls to run after it. And then I forgot that ye even did it after.
Well, of course we could be trying to help you find it, but old Drizzt was wondering what...
He be wondering whether I have a wit left in my head, girl. And I tell you, we'll find me hammer soon enough. I'll not leave it for goblins to steal.
Be it that as it may, Bruno, Drizzt, we've got company. Maybe they found your pretty little hammer, Bruno. I know of this one, Kered Larae, from the Harpers. A drow of good alignment and heroic reputation. He's deserving of respect.
One more comment on me hammer, Rumblebelly, and you'll be the first that squishes when I get it back.
Peace, my friends. There is no need for us to fight over this. Ho there, travelers. I am Drizzt Do'Urden, most recently of 10 Towns. Are you friend or foe? Well, we have encountered him before near Baldurs Gate. It seemed friendly enough then. I'm a friend, Drizzt. I have heard of you. Well met then, friend. Tell me, have you perhaps seen a pink warhammer in the vicinity during your travels?
Blast you, Drizzt! Me hammer be not pink!
Well, you have to admit, Bruno, since Saren cast that enchantment on it, it has been glowing a little on the pinkish side.
It be red. Red, I tell you. Call it pink again, Halfling, and you'll have yourself a one-way ticket to the abyss.
I've been there. It was nothing special. Red, then. Might you have something like it, stranger? No. I haven't.
Moradin's breath. It must be around here somewhere.
We'll look for a little while longer then, Bruno. Have no fear. We're not expected back in 10 Towns for a fortnight yet. Tell me, though, stranger, have we met before? I feel as though your face is familiar, but I cannot attach a time or place to it. Should I know you? If you actually fought him in the first Baldurs Gate, you could say, I killed you, we're going to do it again. And you could say you just attacked him. This is what actually happened. We met only briefly. I helped you defeat some gnolls near Baldurs Gate. That was you? Glad I am to meet you again, friend. It is good to see others of decent nature travel these roads, especially with all the rumors of danger. If you are in need of assistance, I will be glad to offer it. If not, I will wish you well, and we shall be on our way back to the far north. I have a proposal for you, Drizzt, if you will wait a moment. A proposal? Very well, stranger. I have no objections to hearing you out. If I can assist you, I will. I am Kered Larae, and I seek to defeat a vampire in Athkatla too powerful to face alone. Will you help? I have heard rumors of this creature, but I also heard that she and her cohorts were destroyed. Are you claiming that this is untrue, that she yet exists? I was the one who destroyed her guild, but she got away. She has returned now, and is stronger than ever before. I have had experience with such creatures in the past, and I know well their power. If what you say is true, we cannot allow it to continue to exist. I will join you in your battle, Kered Larae, although there are things that we must do before that time. Where does this creature reside in Athkatla? In the crypts, beneath the graveyard district. I think I know of the area you speak of. Very well. We will meet you there when you are ready to venture beneath the surface. Until that time, Kered. So we're going to fight side by side with the famous Drizzt Do'Urden, eh? Well, it's a book gets written about us, then I hope they remember who the real heroes are here. I'd really hate to see myself betrayed as some fuzzy-wuzzy sidekick to Kered Larae who gets killed off in the first encounter, you know. An excellent idea, Kered. Adding Drizzt and his companions to our battle against Bodhi will certainly tip the scales. You show great wisdom. Oh yeah, great wisdom with a wisdom score of 14!
I wouldn't dream.
It's not really significant. Anyway, let's get out of here then, shall we? Okay. Well, we were walking along the coast, and we were heading towards trade meet. We'll get there eventually. Okay, we bump into some travelers. Good tidings, friend! What brings you down this way? Full of adventure, sir. Wait, you seem familiar. Would you perchance be the fabled Kered Larae? Truly, good sir, your deeds are well known all throughout the Sword Coast. Yes, I am indeed Kered Larae. You've heard of me, then. Oh yes, Kered Larae, we've heard of you. In fact, we have been sent to deal with you. And what are you implying? You must be captured, Kered Larae. Someone desires your presence very badly. It is time. What are people turning into? The seemingly friendly merchants suddenly change shape so that they look like you? What? Alright, everybody, get ready. This looks like a dangerous situation, potentially. Uh-oh. Imoen doesn't really have a good defense right now. I guess she's just gonna have to use protection from magical weapons, because who knows what could happen to her if she doesn't. Get fake me! As for... I'll be Dazim's hard wilting. Luckily it doesn't affect all of us. Yeah, and cast... Haste. Oh man, who just cast Fireball? There we go. Whoa! Why is she getting hurt so much? Is this bad smoke? Let's get out of it quickly. Out of the bad smoke. Okay. Alright. Everyone is alive. That's good. Who were these people? That was a nasty enough encounter. We don't have any other healing. I guess we can use some of these light healing potions. I mean, that is kind of what they are there for, just as a way of healing up people who are banged up a bit. Well, let's look through their stuff. That was really strange. I wonder who these people were.
I've had this little problem ever since I was a wee gnome. When it gets dark, everybody glows red. Frightens a child something fierce.
Huh. He's talking about infravision, which back in 2nd edition days was basically just a way that people could say that the metahumans, the other races, could see in the dark. They would see heat, which is pretty neat. Alright, well that was interesting.
It's long past time for turnip tea. A little rest will shake the stew from our eyes and ache from our legs.
Yes, we're all quite tired. Minsk leveled again? I thought he just leveled up now. Apparently he's becoming a level 19 ranger. He levels up, gets 3 hit points, 1 Thaco, and apparently some more abilities. Let's see, he already has Whirlwind. He could get Greater Whirlwind. A more powerful version of the Whirlwind attack. Greater Whirlwind gives the fighter the same bonuses without penalties. The number of attacks per round are set to 10 for 1 round. That is a lot of attacks. Well, that does seem very Minsk. Alright, well let's give him that then. He can spin like a maniac. So it just functions, I think, as... Oh no, and now it's Whirlwind and Greater Whirlwind for all of your whirlwinding needs. Okay then. Alright, she says. Let's just get out of here, everybody. Before we get jumped by another band of brigands here, I just want to get to trade meet already. Whew, here we are. This place seems a lot more peaceful than when we last left it. Quite a few merchants we can talk to in town. The smithy, we can also go to the Temple of Joaquin. The pub really doesn't have anything. We should just probably go through the marketplace and see what interesting things that we can buy. It's the heroes of the town. Hoity-toity-toy. I don't know why he's Irish all of a sudden, but let's see if he has anything interesting. Potions of healing are always interesting. We will buy all of them. And that's pretty much it. He doesn't have anything else that we want. What about this guy? Wallace. What do you got, Wallace? You also have potions of healing, which we always need. For whatever reason, he cannot have more than that, so you'll get the rest. Clarity, regeneration. A scroll case, he already has 3 of them, and we already have lots of wooden stakes, so that's not necessary. What about you? The heroes of the town! Come, see my wares! Oh, he actually has quite a few interesting things. Including a +3 club, Black Blood, does acid damage, and a +3 Dwarven Warhammer that returns the thrower upon using and does extra damage against giants and ogres. That is pretty badass. Why can't Minsk use it? Is it dwarves only? Not usable by non-dwarves. Ooh, but it could be used by Yan, but that's the problem is that if Yan did use it, that would remove all of his bolts. And even though it would probably be a great weapon for Yan, I mean, come on, his crossbow is like his signature weapon. Well, he's not using his own crossbow right now, he's using this super crossbow that we got for him, but still, it wouldn't be the same. I just can't justify spending the money on it. It just wouldn't feel right. Alright, what else do they have? Martial staff +3. The Ross sword. This is a pretty neat sword. I think it becomes a dancing sword. Yeah, you can enchant it and it'll just fight by itself. Neat, but kind of gimmicky. Magical bullets if you want them. We don't have to get them here. The infamous Cloak of Displacement. I like to refer to it as the Cloak of Tired Eyes, considering that you have to look at it, and it has this really kind of glaring visual effect that's just painful to look at. Let me get this scroll. And everything else is probably just junk that we sold this person, yeah, so none of the rest of it is really essential in any way.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so I guess we'll drop on by the smithy then. And see what they have for sale, if anything new. It's good to be back in Trade Me. Oh, wait. We could actually probably stop at the Temple of Joaquin before we leave. And we could also visit, what the hell's her name? The friendly people who live here. Gosh, why do I forget their names already? We traveled with her before. Halfling Fighter. Aspiring Paladin. Mazzy Fenton. I don't know why it took Kered so long to think of that name.
Just as I thought.
Possibly because the person who controls him behind the screen has a poorer memory than he does. Anyway, let's talk to these people. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Yep, I'd like to see your services. Okay. Potions of Genius. Those are always good things to have, especially if you want to learn new spells. Yeah, I actually buy some. You know what? We might actually buy all of them. Yoink. Stone to Flesh. Raise Dead. That actually might be really useful to have. However, that is very expensive. Ew, no. Protection for poison, cold. Raise Dead. Identifying we can handle. What about this guy over here? Barl. Never seen him before. How you doing, buddy? Yes, heroes, are you? Well, heroes go and do something heroic and leave me well enough alone. Oh, he sounds pretty testy.
As you will.
Whatever.
Of course.
Alright, off to the smithy. We can look at our statues. Oh yeah! Kered Larae, hero of trade meat. Follower of Kered Larae. Aw, they didn't even name you guys! That sucks! And because we only did it with 5 person, there's a 6 slot missing. Which admittedly is kind of awkward, but you know, whatever.
I wouldn't dream
Hi!
of using-
How you doing?
Well, you look like the sort who has more than 2 gold pieces to rub together.
Well, we are professional adventurers, so you would not be wrong. Alright, we're looking through his stuff. Whole bunch of +1 stuff. He has potions as well. Various scrolls. Some of these I think are actually kind of neat spells. Spell Thrust, you don't really see that one very often. Detect Illusion, Hold Undead, Enchanted Weapon, Fire Shield Red. Protection from normal weapons, Breach, lower resistance, Oracle, Conjureless or Fire Elemental, Mistlead, protection from magic enemy, Pierce Magic, True Sight. These are all really good. However, I think that we actually have... Yeah, she has the Robe of the Good Archmagi, and Kered has the Robe of Vecna. Yan, I believe, is still using his Jansen Adventure Wear, which is pretty damn snazzy in my opinion. However, it is dry clean only, which is somewhat compromises its use. And we'll probably get something for him eventually as well, but it doesn't look like anything here is really all that valuable. So it doesn't seem like we really need to be shopping here then. So, let's say hi to Mazzy, and then probably go to Athkatla. Seems like the thing to do. Come on, everybody. Let's go see Mazzy, see how she's doing. Oh, Mazzy! Hey, Mazzy, how you doing?
You have returned, I see. What is it that you need?
We're just saying hi. I do grow weary of being about the house, and I long to adventure once more. Should you require me in the future, I shall be here. Alright, so Mazzy is still around.
Oh, yes.
If we ever want her to rejoin the group.
Just as I thought.
That's nice to know. Trade Meat has certainly calmed down a lot since we came here and basically fixed all of their problems, as adventuring parties tend to do.
You point, I punch.
I think we just kind of embrace the fact that Minsk is going to have the boots of speed and just run around everywhere like a maniac. I think that's just kind of true to his character. Alright, let's go back. First stop at the Joaquin's Promenade, because we've got a lot of business to do. Actually, it might make sense to go visit... No. In fact, first thing we're going to do is go to the slums, because Kered should probably visit his students, who are hard at work producing goods under his tutelage.
As you will.
Only problem is, it's probably going to take quite a little time to get there, but, you know, that's okay. So Kered is definitely happy for the group to be back in Athkatla. Oh, and we nearly forgot, Yoshimo. We kind of have his heart. Really kind of a grim thing when you think about it. And he asked that it be returned to a Temple of Illmater. And sure enough, there is one here, right in the middle of town. So I suppose that we shall go there and turn it in. Because it is kind of grisly carrying around one of your old adventuring companions' hearts. It's kind of morbid, really. And maybe after death, he'll be able to find forgiveness and peace. Despite Yoshimo's treachery, Kered can't really bring himself to hate him. I mean, he can understand his need to survive, but I don't know. It's one of those things that Kered is really trying to avoid thinking about, because the notion that one of his trusted companions could betray him is really very unsettling for him. It makes him feel really uncomfortable. And things that make him uncomfortable, he tends to avoid thinking about. Praise be to Illmater! I have seen the crying god heal many, and demand nothing in return. He's a glorious, benevolent god indeed. I have a strange request, brother. I have a heart of a man that died in shame. Interesting, though not unheard of. We often try to guide those that have already fallen. Some live well and then fall unexpectedly. Tell me of this man. You could either basically tell him about how he was a traitor or a friend. Kered would still think of him as a friend. Yoshimo, a friend that was forced into treachery. He begged that Illmater spare his soul from the hell he was promised. Yoshimo, you say? I believe I know of this man. He came here a few weeks ago as night was falling and seemed to be in great distress, but would not disclose what harrowed him. He donated a substantial sum of gold and asked that I store certain personal effects here. He'd prefer not to be caught dead with them, or because of them, he said. Kered would sigh heavily and say, I just hope he finds some peace in death, at least. I see. Events took him further than he expected, and he suffered as he struggled between duty and conscience. I have seen such torment in souls before. Very well. We shall take his heart unto the breast of Illmater. The crying god will determine what torment is deserved or not. If there is suffering undeserved, this Yoshimo will see relief in his eternal rest. Tell me, have you forgiven this man for his treachery? Got a lot of options here. We could say hell no. I'd like to, but no. If I forgive him or not doesn't make any difference now, does it? That's a rather jaded answer. I have now. I think one of Kered's answers would be more like here. So treachery pains me, but it pained him as well. I wish things could have ended differently. Yes, he was a victim as well. All I hold for him is pity. No, not just nearly just pity. I would say Kered to say yes. His treachery pains me, but it pained him as well. I wish things could have ended differently. I see. If that is the case, perhaps you would like to have a look at what he left here. I believe he meant to come back for his things if he survived, but it seems you have come in his stead. If you still feel the pain of his betrayal, whatever you find may provide you with some consolation, or at least answers. I'd appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Good. Just let me go get his things, then. Here, I hope you find what you seek. Fare you well. The party received, wow, 200,000 experience. And a couple of items. A wakizashi. This short blade, barely a full foot long, looks distinctly Kered-turned, but is obviously of poor workmanship. Bounces slightly off, the silk wound about the handles coming loose and the edges long gone. Traces of ornate oriental inscription remain here and there on the guard. Huh. An old weapon. And a book. Yoshimo's journal. How long is this? It's not that long. Let's read it. Yoshimo hasn't been very conscientious about keeping a diary. The first pages are filled with haphazard notes of tasks completed, rewards collected, friends gained, and enemies befuddled. A few letters written on fine paper, an elegant feminine hand have stowed between the pages, with some amused remarks scribbled in the margins. Although still not very orderly, more regular entries began a little over a year ago. 29 Myrtle, 1358. Went over some old letters. It has been 3 years now since I saw Tomiko. That can't be right. The Suave set sail at high tide. Captain's niece is possessed of a most inconvenient keenness for imported goods. I suppose it's a vain hope that she'd have my stomach for the sea, so I wouldn't need to keep to my cabin to avoid her. Second mate seems card-sharp enough. 13 Elaine, 1358. Athkatla is as pleasantly avaricious as ever, but some elaborately disinterested sneaks people patrol outside my inn, throwing dirty glares my way every time I pass by. The Thieves Guild obviously feels I've overstayed my welcome again. Maybe I should concentrate on finding Tomiko for a change. 18 Lent, 1358. No sense in heading out to the mountains at night. Bided my time in Cremor listening to the word about town. To my surprise, heard a few travelers talk about that Sarabok fellow that Tomiko has mentioned. Great expectations, connections to the Iron Throne, cuts a fine figure, casts a dark shade. Same man. Sounds like he caused some kind of stir in Baldurs Gate. She was written of him often, but little. He sounded like trouble, but I trust she has the good sense to stay out of it. She did sound quite committed to him, though. 25 Elaine, 1358. Spent the night at the Jovial Juggler in Baragost. The drunken mercenary insisted on sampling my katana, either end of it. Distracted him with an order to the innkeeper to bring a sample for several of his barrels and to keep them coming. Before disappearing somewhere under the table for what I expect to be the better part of the week, the man slurred a few alarming things about the ruckus back down Baldurs Gate. I can only hope Tomiko hasn't been involved. According to the gentleman, everyone is now very excited about someone called Kered Larae, who has done in that Sarabok and all. He went on to pontificate, however, that something's just not right about that Kered Larae. Either that one day this new toast of the town will flip out just like the last one. Apparently he has seen both Sarabok and Kered Larae once from afar across a crowd. Maybe. So he would know. 8 Marpenoth, 1358. Scouring the streets of Baldurs Gate for the past few days and nights. Iron Throne headquarters is a state of embarrassing disarray. Found the Tomiko mentioned as her last resort, dingy bootleg beneath her. Spotted her in the innkeeper's book under a false name with a bill left behind on the 12th of Flame Roll. Snuck out before the man thought of making me pay up. 10 Marpenoth, 1358. Heard a couple of Flaming Fist soldiers talk about Kered Larae, who single-handedly slew that nutcase bastard Sarevok and all of his followers. Well, that's a bit of a dramatization. They went on to describe his flaming eyes, thundering voice, and 7-mile stride. I left. 11 Marpenoth, 1358. A slip of paper torn from an account book marked with a symbol of Kelimvor is folded between the pages of his journal. Human female, age approximately 30, Keratoran. Alley near Black Dragon Gate. No overt signs of violence or disease. Cause of death magical. Full plate mail inscribed with Bainite insignia. Oriental character, filigreed in fold over the heart. Sold to Sorcerer's Sundries for 17,000 gold. Buried. Ugh, she died. 13 Marpenoth, 1358. Either Sarevok or Kered Larae may have killed her, but she did believe in Sarevok at the time, and Sarevok is beyond my revenge. 15 Marpenoth, 1358. Some festival or another was celebrated in the city, and I saw Kered Larae from a distance near the Ducal Palace. She did not look like someone who could manage to kill my sister. 16 Marpenoth. I dreamed of Tomiko, as I often do now. His sister. As I often do now, but I remember very little of the dream. Only her face is branded under my eyelids, after image of the sun. 18th. I was noticed. A pallid woman in black leather stopped me tonight in the tavern where I sat watching Kered Larae. You are the talented young man who has been asking so many questions about Kered Larae, she said, and shoved her cold cleavage at me. Don't worry. Your violent wishes will be granted before long. You need only do exactly as I tell you. She bid me follow her into the chill night and down the damp alleyway until we came to the place where the city forgot its nameless dead. There she pointed me to a grave among rows upon rows of graves, each recycled as the old inhabitants rot away. This one lay dug open. The woman opened the shoddy coffin, and there lay Tomiko, tucked into her sleep like a child. Dead. 20th of Marpenoth. Bodhi works for a masked man named Irenicus, at least in theory. They assure me that it was Kered Larae who killed my sister, and that I will get my revenge. Only first I must bring him to Irenicus, alive. 22. Marpenoth. I need not dream in mirages anymore. I have the reality. Tomiko's face settled into an unnatural serenity that not even decay can disturb. She had not rotted. She's not going away. There's only one way to be certain, and even if I'm wrong, none of us is innocent. One way or another, she will be avenged. 23rd of Marpenoth. Irenicus demanded an oath of me, a geas, so I swore it. I hardly even feel it now. It's only a pinch at the base of my skull. 8th of Altriac. Kered Larae and his party were captured. Blood was shed, but Irenicus has caged my quarry as far away from me as possible, and trying to impress, or force my point upon him, proved most physically unwise. Irenicus did promise, though, that sight would return to my right eye in a few days, and ordered me to apply proper patience to my vengefulness. We are heading south. 15 Chase, 1359, in Athkatla. Obviously, this underground fortress wasn't constructed in a day. Since we arrived, Irenicus has been busy making the full use of his new guests. He won't stand me in the way of his work, as I haven't made the mistake of sneaking over to steal a glance again. The screams get on my nerves, so I've wandered the streets to keep from thinking about what transpires underneath. Whatever it is he's doing to them, I wish he would hurry. 20th of Chess, 1359. Bodhi has spent her time establishing herself in the streets of the city, preying on the shadow thieves. She, too, has definitely started on her work earlier, though. I try to steer clear of the short, brutal skirmishes. I feel a need to preserve even some measure of disassociation. 26th of Chess, 1359. Irenicus did not spare me much attention, and I managed to study some papers of his that I believe were never meant for my eyes. There are a lot of notes about Kered Larae and about his potential. Earlier, I was too crazed to wonder about his motives. 27th of Chess. One more note I found, an intercepted Iron Throne missive, with orders to the officials in the Baldurs Gate area to find and execute all and any former followers of Sarevok Unshiv that happen to have survived Kered Larae's assault. The throne brooks no double-dealing. The list includes, but is not limited to, Winsky Perorate, Angelo Desan, Tezak the Ogre, a conjurer called Semaj, Synthandria, and Tomiko. 18th of Tarsak, 1359. Finally, Irenicus has plans for me and Kered Larae. He wants to lead Kered Larae on a wild goose chase all the way to his next lair, some kind of test run of this alleged potential, and he wants me to infiltrate his group so that I can monitor their progress. Of course, I too must lie in a cage for a while first, for credibility. 25th of Tarsak, 1359. It's generally a bad idea to swear gears when you have a grief in place of knees and brain. The following entry was obviously written in a hurry and left undated. Even though events did not proceed exactly as Irenicus had planned, the man is a master. After